Jay here for Stretford Paddock. That's Joe Smith. Manchester United out of the Carabao Cup on penalties away at Grimsby. Grim being the word. Get involved in the chat and the comments. We are live. Let us know your thoughts on that. We've got loads of comments, loads of super chats, everything to get through. Before we do that though, Joe, we'll go back to the start. If you can remember the beginning of the game. I mean, United started off poorly, conceded 2 goals, mainly courtesy, if we're being brutally honest, of Onana. I know other players played their part in both goals, but it was a bit of an Onana disaster class, and you feared the worst. But then we got back in it in the second half. The manager made a lot of changes. It was 2-2. You thought, okay, penalties, and then we go round through the penalties almost like we did against Villarreal, back to the start again. And ultimately, we end up getting knocked out of the Carabao Cup second round away at Burnley on penalties. I mean, it doesn't get much grimmer than that. Away at Grimsby, sorry. It doesn't get much grimmer than that.
It's calling it the second round almost implies that we got through a first round, which we just were allowed through because we're a Premier League team. Like, that was just horrendous. And you say, going back to the start, those first 30 minutes, we were outplayed by Grimsby. And it wasn't like a smash and grab, counter-attacking, or I know one of the goals was from a set piece, but it wasn't a performance that relied on that. Those first 30 minutes, Grimsby were the better team. And how many times in the last, not just under Amorim, in the last 2 years, 2 and a bit years now, including the start of this season, have we sat here and said United were outworked, the other team looked fitter, they looked faster, they looked like they were more bothered, they looked like they could string 5 passes together better than we can. Every single game, or almost every single game, we sit here and we say these things. It is the outlier for Manchester United to match another team physically, or to fight harder for the ball, or to fight harder for the tackle, or whatever it is. That's the outlier. Most games, me and you sit here and we say the other team look more up for it than us today. Yeah. They look more physical. They look more athletic. They're not more fucking athletic than us. This is a team 3 divisions below us. Yeah. They aren't better, more equipped, more athletic players. They're just not. No. We have got a better team than they have. And I know no one's trying to debate that, but the argument that we try and use, or that we look at when we're losing to Premier League teams, we're losing to League 2 teams the same way. Yeah. We're being outran and outthought, and sort of, they want it more than we do. All these old cliches that you don't even think, it's all about tactics these days. Well, how come we look the same when we play Fulham as we do when we play Grimsby? Yeah. It's not just they're more athletic than us. There's a problem. There's a huge problem. And Ten Hag couldn't fix it. It's looking like Amorim couldn't fix it. I'm not saying he's going to get sacked, but you can't just lose forever. And especially you chuck a League 2 game in there, that takes a bigger sort of chisel to the nose of the statue than most games do. But there's something just wrong. And I maybe we just try another manager and that fixes it. I don't know. Obviously, things can't just be wrong forever or just be right forever. But it's so bizarre watching us for this long. And things just aren't getting better. And then, like I said, the things that the Premier League's a physical league. Everyone's faster, more athletic, stronger than us. United need to get athletes in the team, get Belaber in the team. Yeah. That'll do it. We needed athletes tonight that we didn't have. How weak and slow can we be?
I don't want to hear about the players that aren't here, or the players we haven't signed. That's always the thing, innit? Yeah. When we get him, we'll be all right. When we get that player, or if he was there tonight, we'd have been all right. It's League 2. Just fucking shut up. Yeah. These players should be able to beat a League 2 team. The only way you don't beat a League 2 team is if they outwork you, outfight you, outbelieve you. Yeah. And they did all that. They hustled, they went for it, they had that belief, that confidence, they fought for everything. There was times when we were literally banging into each other and falling over.
The first
it was comical.
Was shambles, wasn't it?
You know what, it's comical without it being funny. I've got loads of comments in chat, I'm going to get into it and then I'm going to come back to you, Joe. So bear with us. Jinzo21, welcome to the Academy. Oshan Music, has been a member for 16 months. They should be ashamed of themselves, can't even beat a League 2 side, even though they're on millions. Disgusting performance. Ian Warren, we have just lost to Grimsby in the northern section of the Carabao Cup. At least we can focus on the relegation scrap and the Sherpa Van Trophy now. Great point. Coach Zach, USMC vet, member for 56 months. Always good to see. Zach says, Onana is an absolute disgrace. Everything Eric Ten Hag did at this club set us back 10 years. The players look lost in this system, or in the system. It's not working. Tom, welcome to the Academy. Says we have to sign a new keeper. Onana disaster class. Adel Samakia says I respect and support Amorim all the way. However, I do not think it's working between the club and him. I think it's done and I think he should move on. I never want to see Onana in a United shirt again. Conor O'Reilly, if you want to keep this coach, you are insane. Jamie Lomas, member for 17 months. Manager has to go. Cowering in the dugout while your team takes penalties against a lower league team is a shocking optic. Paul Witten, lose to Burnley, City, Chelsea, Amorim gone. Don Bark, I don't care what system or what manager we have. A Man United 11 should always be beating a League 2 side. Yeah. The players, again, showing us a shocking showing. Enfifi, 3-4-3 doesn't suit this squad. Sack at Amorim and go get Giggsy. BM says Amorim, we're going to have Andy Tate on in a minute, by the way. Amorim cowering in the dugout, eyes closed, rocking back and forth, hiding behind his staff for the whole shootout. Where's the leadership?
In terms of optics, that does look crazy, doesn't it?
I'm not going to lie. My group chats are insane. United concede a corner and I have 3,000 messages in my group chats saying just fold the club. But all my group chats are going on about that. Yeah. Because I've not gone on Twitter yet. I'm not ready. But it's all about Amorim in the dugout. What's he doing? I know I don't watch penalties, but I'm not the manager of Manchester United Football Club.
It is weird that he's just sat and he is I don't think he's hiding because I think that that's just a nice word to use if you want to have a go at him. Yeah. But the fact that he doesn't like to watch penalties, can't face it, whatever, sat there literally rocking back and forth like he's something from The Exorcist or something, is a little bit of an unwanted visual in it.
Unwanted visual.
It doesn't give you...
I think that sums up my experience of watching United, to be honest with you.
It doesn't give you that thing of right, he gets it, he's going to sort this. I know you can't sort a penalty shootout, which is why you can maybe give him a bit of leeway, but why is he doing that? Come on.
Sam says, never known a keeper to have such weak wrists, and he always dives early. It's like having a handicap and needs teams to miss the goals to have a chance. Yeah. Joshua, sorry, I'm trying to keep up with these. They're coming thick and fast. I will get back to you, Joe, in a minute. I'm just trying to... there's just so many super chats. Joshua, let's be honest, will be a new manager come Christmas. Sean Doolin says he's got his players. He's played none of them in the same lineup. He has no idea what he's doing.
Well, he's rotating tonight because we've got a fucking League 2 team. Funnily enough, we still couldn't beat them. Yeah, well, that's why he's not played the full front three the whole time. I
got it tonight, the team, but I get the wider context of Amorim and the criticism of him because it isn't just about tonight. Clark Kent says can't be outplayed by League 2. He's got to go. Tim Sim, no doubt we are regressing so bad this season and are sleepwalking dangerously close than ever to relegation. Open heart surgery after this season from top to bottom. It must happen. Period. F the Glazers for this mess. I agree. Russell Thompson says we can't play 2 against 3 in CM every week. Adam Samakia, again, I support Amorim and don't want to sack him, but if I were him, and for all the respect and love I have for him, I would resign tonight. Grumpy Gamer HD says, anyone else side of this, I can't be asked, utter dog shite football. I think that's the official name of it. It is the manager we've had lows. Nothing's changed. Even the new boys look lost. JC, 38% win rate, 28 points in 29 games. Not won 2 successive games since he arrived. What has he actually done to deserve this job any longer? Martian, who's been a member of the Academy for 7 months. Amorim needed to start strong after the disaster of last season, and he simply hasn't. You simply cannot drop to below a certain standard at a club like United. Connor Lynn, do you think Amorim goes after this? If Amorim goes, what are your thoughts on bringing Solskjaer back in? Could he work under Ineos? Danny Sabbath in the chat says Amorim is cooked, man. Wilkes7 says Solskjaer back immediately. Rupin says, at what point do questions need to be asked of Amorim? Joe, I was at the Villa game at the end of last season. We just lost to Bilbao. The crowd was still singing. We just lost in Bilbao to Spurs. Got back from Bilbao, went to the Villa game, took my family. We won at the end of the game. Amorim, would be getting his name chanted throughout the game. Yeah, even after that loss to Spurs, everyone was behind him. He said, look, when I arrived and we was like 3 games unbeaten, I said, a storm is coming. He said, a storm is coming. I said that. He said, now the storm has been and gone. The good times are coming. Yeah, that's what he said. And I bought into it. I was stood there cheering him like, yes, you're right. Now, he said that. This season, we've lost at home to Arsenal, albeit it was a good performance, but we lost. Drew away at Fulham when we were winning, and really, truly, that's not a great result, if we're going to be honest. And we've been knocked out of the Carabao Cup, which is one of our only 2 trophies, really, we're going to win. We could win, to League 2 Grimsby. If that's not a fucking storm, I don't know what is. Literally, it was tonight.
Yeah.
How concerned are you for the future of Ruben Amorim? Because every manager gets sacked because of a series of things. Ten Hag got sacked because of bad signings, bad results. The 7-0 at Liverpool went some way. The signing of Anthony went some way. Losing the game at West Ham was the final one. But there's loads of different things that add up. This is one of those things that if he does get sacked, will be one of the things you look back at and go, That loss at Grimsby didn't help. How close do you think he is to being in real trouble?
I will get to that.
So answer that however you want.
What we can't do is wait till the start of November and then sack him.
Okay.
Because you've either, like we did last season, because then you're pretty much stuck in a sort of perpetual loop of not giving a manager enough time to turn the season around that they're in properly.
Yeah.
Therefore, absolutely scraping out any sort of goodwill that they have if they start their full season, the next one, which is what Amrim's in now, badly.
Yeah. If
he'd have started, and these were his first 3 games at Manchester United, it would be Jesus Christ, but no one's calling for him to be sacked.
Yeah.
Amrim wanted to start this summer. He didn't, and we can't just forget all of last season. I appreciate that. But if we wait 15 games like we did last season, then we sack him. The season's done anyway. The players are struggling. The season's over. Then you bring someone else in. They struggle, and you end up in this perpetual cycle again. You either give him all season and go, Jesus Christ, what a bad night. Another bad night.
Yeah.
We can't have too many more of these, but you give him all season, or you make the decision and you go early. Because there's literally no point in doing both, or sort of neither, which is what we did with Ten Hag. They wanted to sack him in the summer. They didn't. They waited till November when the season was dead, and they did it then.
Yeah.
Then, obviously, it didn't work under Ruben Amorim, and now we are here, 3 games in, a lot of fans ready to see him go already.
Yeah.
What would be the point in repeating that cycle? So either they need to come out and say, you've got the full season, Ruben Amorim is our manager, he's going to be here for the season, or, I'm not saying sack him tonight, but don't make the same mistake as last season. Because at some point, Ineos, people are going to start to say, yeah, we think Mbeumo's a good signing, Cunha was good again tonight, but you got it wrong with Dan Ashworth, you got it wrong with Ten Hag by keeping him on, and not just keeping him on, completely undermining him by interviewing other managers, so that no matter what happened, he was basically finished.
Yeah,
then
agree.
you sacked him at the worst time possible. Then you bring this guy in. If you sack him, you admitted you got it wrong again. Yeah, maybe Dan Ashworth knows how to buy a player. Not Dan Ashworth, but Jason Wilcox knows how to buy a player or two. But you are failing time and time again in the big personnel decisions at Manchester United. They can't be allowed to do that either, for their own reputation, for the future of the next few years at Manchester United. That is what we can't allow to happen. So whatever they do, it cannot be wait another 15 games and then sack him. That would be the worst case scenario for me. What do you think?
I hear you. I do worry about the game at the weekend, and I've got to be honest with you. I almost feel like the writing's on the wall, you know. I feel like if a game at home to Burnley is make or break, you're in serious trouble. Yeah. And it feels like if he loses that, people are going to be looking at it going, what are we even doing here? Like, we needed a good start this season and we hadn't had one. And it's like, I don't know, man. I try and back the manager and I try and believe in him, but I said it during the watch along. It's like, any argument I've got for Amorim is based on hypotheticals. Any argument against Amorim is based on evidence. So when I'm arguing with people about Amorim and they're going, he's not the right man for a job, I go, why? I go, well, he loses every week. He's won 7 out of 28 games in the Premier League. He's been beaten at home to, Palace and Bournemouth, and lost the cup final to Spurs, and his record's the worst United manager literally in history. And I go, yeah, but give him more time. I'm confident he'll turn it around. But what? Based on what? Well, I think he will. Well, he inherited a mess. Okay, but what makes you think he's the man to turn around? We did well at Sporting. Okay, but what have you seen at United to make you believe he can? And I'm stuck. I have to just say, it's almost just a bit of faith in him from the way he carries himself and from certain players we've got. Do you know what I mean? I struggle to truly say this is the definitive reason why I know Amorim will be a success, where I think people who doubt him say, there's a reason I don't think he'll succeed because of what I'm watching. That's the problem you got.
It's a great point. It is hard.
Because that's all I've got to defend him with his hypotheticals.
It's hypotheticals and off the field stuff. Yeah. Which at the end of the day doesn't,
I'm not trying to throw a shade at him because I like the guy, but I'm just being honest. The only thing I can say when people ask me is, why do you have faith in him, is because I believe that he'll turn it around, but my faith is waning.
Why do you think it's going so wrong? Because obviously the Premier League is it's such a tough league. I get that. I'm not saying it's acceptable that we've lost all these games. But I honestly think the average human being that's played football to a semi-pro level could manage Manchester United to a win against Grimsby. So at some point, it's almost worse than he could be, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like Ruben Amorim, okay, let's just hold our hands up and we admit, and for the sake of this argument, he's out of his depth. He's not good enough to take Man United back up the table. He's not good enough. He has to go. Okay, let's accept that.
Yeah.
You don't even like winning the Portuguese league may not be that great. It is more than enough CV to beat Grimsby.
Yeah.
Or to win more than 7 out of 29 league games.
Yeah.
There's more than, it's a disconnect of something. What do you think it is?
I'll be honest with you. I can't believe how bad it's been.
No, I can't.
I genuinely cannot get my head around how poor it's been, because never in a million years did I think we'd be finishing 15th. And let's not kid ourselves. We can sort of skew it. Well, with Eric Ten Hag, we were near the bottom or whatever. We were 4 points, I think, off top 4 when Eric Ten Hag got sacked.
4 points off third.
Off third when Eric Ten Hag got sacked. Let's put some context into this. Yeah, it wasn't like we were down near the bottom of the table with 8 games to go. There was a big chunk of the season left, and we could have quite easily have ended up in the top 4 if we'd have turned things around. You look at the record that Ole had when he came in as caretaker. I know that the wheels came off, but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I forgot his name, or I couldn't pronounce it because I'm so excited. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I think he won 10 of his first 12 games in the Premier League. I don't think Amorim's even got there yet, has he?
No.
Like, it's almost insane how bad we've been. Martian says Amorim needs to start strong after the disaster of last season, and he simply hasn't. You simply can't drop below a certain standard at a club like United. Connor Lynn says, do you think Amorim goes after this? If Amorim goes, what's your thoughts on bringing Solskjaer back in? Could he work under Ineos?
Don't do that.
Okay, don't do that. DJ Debrel, terrible Onana, a fucking, I don't know, I'm editing it, we can swear, a fucking curse on this club. Amorim looks lost, head in hands too right. What is his system? The players look clueless. Mitchell, never in the club's history have we ever lost to a side 3 divisions below us. We have just witnessed factually the worst result in the club's history. Is that true? Were York City not 3? I don't know. I'm
sure.
Fucking reaching. I don't know. I take it you're right. I'll take your word for it. Andy takes off there. We're going to hear from Andy in a bit. I'd put him on a live, but I might need to let him calm down first. So I know a few people have been asking about Andy. Me and Andy are going to do a video shortly. I don't want to put him on that because he's ready to fire some shots, yeah. And for his own sake, we might need to let him cool down first. Sorry, there's so many super chats. I do want to get through more because I always appreciate the fact that people have paid to say shit.
Can I say something that's a bit mad while you're sort of getting back to your list? It's only quick. In a sort of perverse and inverted way, I almost think the only thing saving Amorim at the minute is that it has been so bad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if he'd have come in and won 8 of his first 15 games, or 8 of his first 12 games, or like a decent start, and then it had gone how it did at the end of the season, or how it is now, I almost think because he's just been horrific from start to finish, like there's a chance that people just go, you know what? Yeah, it still hasn't hit the corner or turned around yet. It's like, it's been so bad, he might get more time. Because surely it can't be this bad. Do you understand what I mean?
I do understand.
It's
also,
like, it's so insanely bad that we've got to be waiting for it to start. It's like it's not started yet even.
And also, there might be that thing with Ineos because they brought in Dan Ashworth, paid his gardening leave money or whatever it was, the fee to get him here from Newcastle, and sacked him within 2 months. Then you're sacking the manager as well. 4 games into the new season or whatever, it don't look good on you. It looks like you don't know what the fuck you're doing. To be honest with you, sacked a manager who won the FA Cup 3 months ago, whatever, 6 months ago, and you brought in a manager who's officially the worst Manchester United manager in the history of this football club. It doesn't reflect well on you. But the counter to that is, not to play both sides, Sir Jim Ratcliffe isn't 25 years old. He hasn't got forever to wait for the club that he supposedly loves and we know he's put a lot of money into, whether you like him or not, to turn it around. He's going to want to see something in the green shoots of summer to make him think that this club's going in the right direction. And if he's seeing United lose every fucking week, then he's going to think, no.
So what is it then? Is it just the formation then? Is that it? Because I'm not saying that, but like, that's the big thing that's changed, isn't it? Do you know the thing that's like a big clunk of the gears and everything got worse after that?
Yeah.
Is it as simple as that? I don't see how it could be personally, but I'm trying to think of like what could have happened that we went from being a sort of above average Premier League team up to challenging for top 4 occasionally or in and out to like clunk awful.
I feel
is it just
lots
that?
of different things that have added up.
But it feels like it's
like one, the goalkeepers have all fallen off a fucking cliff.
Yeah.
All our goalkeepers are shit. Yeah, I'm sorry, I like Bayern Day. I met him, he was nice to my kids. But that doesn't mean he's good enough to play for Manchester United. He makes mistakes all the time. Andre Onana is a contender for the worst regular goalkeeper we've ever had.
Yeah.
Tom Eaton, who I love, but he's probably not going to get a chance, even though I'd probably play him, because I think he's the least of the least problematic. I think he's just a safe pair of hands, ironically. Then you've got things like this constant merry-go-round of positions and players all the time in every fucking department. A different back three almost every week. A different midfield almost every week. A different attack almost every week. We've brought in new attackers who I believe in our faith, but last season, none of our attackers really were at the races. Ahmad was for a bit, but then he got injured. I wouldn't class Bruno as an attacker. Garnacho didn't really do it. Oyland didn't really do it. Xerxes didn't really get enough goals. That's not a good combination. We still haven't worked out the midfield. What's our midfield? What's it look like? What's the best combo? We were playing Mason Mount in midfield against Fulham for a bit, alongside Bruno. Then it was Ugarte. Then before that it's Casemiro. Mainoo apparently doesn't fit into this system. What is it then? What you can't have just everything up in the air. It feels like nothing is settled. The only part of the pitch you go, well, that's probably settled when everyone's fit, is the attack. But we haven't got there yet because Sesko's probably still not ready to start week in, week out the Premier League. So everything is up in the air position-wise. You've got loads of players underperforming, and you start to wonder how many of them have truly bought into the manager and what he's trying to do. You have to ask yourself that. Yeah. Because they're not showing you the signs that make you believe they trust this manager. I'm going to go through some of the super chats before we wrap up, because I want to get Andy on. Robbie Lenny, I try to defend Ruben and his signings, but what has he done? If we let him stay, we'll build a team based on his system. Then what? Another rebuild. No excuses. We have to beat Grimsby every time. Eric Plays says at least we can focus on winning the Premier League now. Laughing emoji. D Brown, member of the Academy, 55 months. Thank goodness for Stretford Paddock. Gutted and needed a safe place to mourn. Thank you. Also, you might not like what's going on, but hit that subscribe button. There's 12,000 people watching. Hit the like. You might not like the result, but like the video and subscribe to the channel. There's a pinned link in the chat to subscribe to the channel. Carl Rowlinson, I'm not usually someone to not back a manager, but two-man midfields get outplayed by three-man midfields, and I've also in the dugout over this. Isham Al-Sayed, this is very simple, lads. Don't deliver. Don't keep your job. It's on you to get the players up for it. Hammering out. Harry Sinclair, the Grimsby keeper, said I'm a Man United fan. I'm fuming, and I don't want Amorim to go, but this will seriously damage his chances of lasting the season. James Vernon, if the coach is carrying in the corner, he can't expect the players to stand up and be brave and fight. Tiemann says a lot of these players nearly lost commentary in the Carabao Cup semi-final, the FA Cup semi-final. This isn't a new thing and not all on the manager. 100% optimism regarding the new manager, full delusion. Himanshu Batla says past 3 a.m. and sleep disappears now. I think Amorim needs to understand English football. Kids in defence against League 2 wasn't right, I feel. Goalkeeping situation is bad, and at least Mainoo had a decent game. You've only come to hate United. He's been a member of the Academy for 3 months. Tipping point for me with Amorim tonight could smash Burnley, but with Chelsea, City, Liverpool coming up, don't see how this gets better soon. Rishov Muhaji, sure the goals we conceded were individual errors, but 10 months in and we struggled to create clear chances against the League 2 side. It's embarrassing. TBH, really like Amorim as a bloke, speaks and acts well, but for his own mental health, if anything, he needs to walk. Whoever is close to him, he convinced him to stay last season and should be cut out of his life. Joey Banks says Amorim talked about getting through the storm before things get better. It was a stormy tonight, performance and weather, just a weird synchronicity.
There was so much on that one there. The sort of visuals of tonight, in the contrast to what he said about the storm passing and now it's good times. It was literally a storm tonight. There was literally a shot of him, what appeared to be hiding from the reality of his life. Yeah. Like Man United are losing a penalty shootout to a League 2 team, and you've ran off. I feel like certain things tonight are going to hit really hard. Losing to a League 2 side, of course, is the biggest one. Really bad. The shot of him sat rocking back and forth in the dugout is going to hit really hard. That's going to be on every back page tomorrow morning, and that's going to be one of those images that sort of is a signpost moment in his Manchester United career, I think. Yeah. And it worries me that it's going to be really hard to sort of turn it back around from here.
I'm apologies because there's loads of super chat. I'm probably not going to be able to get through them all because we have to hear from Andy before he turns into a pumpkin or before he explodes with rage. So forgive me if you put a super chat in and I'm not going to be able to read it. We do appreciate all your support, and you know me, I always read out the super chats, but I'm literally running out of time. So I'm just going to say Warren James, Light D, 3D Steve 1985, Jamie Lomas, Richard Quinn, Joey M, Alexi Braithwaite, you know from the channel, works very hard. Hanum Jandu, Russell Thompson, AJ, Kareem K, Nolan Dull, Fozzie, James Samut, Isham 28, Lord Karat, Mayor Amateur, Mr. Creed MC, Rune, Ryan Weston, Chris C, Samwell, Colin Grist, Adele Samakia, Kevo, Bad Wolf 7, Joey Bang. I want to just thank you all. Angry Tank says, why does this happen to all my teams? I've only got one team and it always happens to them. And Tom S, what will it take for us to win a game comfortably and have control for most of it, like hammering, but we still look toothless despite the signings? Thank you to everyone, and apologies I couldn't read out the super chats because you know me, I would, but we literally run out of time and there's so many of them. Thank you to all of you supporting the channel. Listen, we'll support United through frickin' Finn, but it's just horrible in a minute. It really is. Amrim is a man under pressure. No excuses. Getting knocked out of the Carabao Cup in the second round. We shouldn't even be in the fucking second round, let alone losing it to getting knocked out of it to Grimsby. So yeah, it is just fucking woeful. And we've got Burnley coming up, but we're going to be hearing from Andy Tate shortly, so make sure if you're not doing so already by hitting like, share and subscribe. That's been Joe Smith. Go and check him out on Sloppy Joe's. I've been Jay Motti. This has been a review. Manchester United out of the Carabao Cup. It's just going from bad to worse. Thanks for watching.